with me, Reverend Bernie Osei-Duah. Good morning.
Hi, Dziffa. Good morning.
CSHR performance consultant and coach. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well, Dziffa.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Now, statements we make in a relationship, why is it very important?
You see, two things contribute to a man's happiness or a person's happiness in life: your achievements and your relationships. And I think we're designed by, if you like, default. The relationships are part of what contributes to your making. So no one is a lone ranger that is built or made by themselves. So relationships become important aspects of who we are and who we become. And definitely for you to achieve much in life, relationships are important. Now, this particular element focuses on, if you like, relationships, romantic relationships, even platonics, but yes, romantic relationships. And yes, there are some statements that should never come out of you, be the man or the woman, when you find yourself in a relationship, because it destroys the level of affection, the level of trust. It destroys the respect and the value that must be upheld within the relationships.
Wow. Okay, let's delve in. What's the first one?
All right, the first one is a statement that you might have heard before, and one says that, I don't even know how I ended up here with you.
Oh, that sounds like an insult.
Yeah. So this is when maybe the individual feels like their partner is not really what they bargained for. And when you say that to a person, you actually demean the person, you've disrespected the person, and to a very large extent, you actually break anything that is called strength within that individual. And it's a statement that should never come out of you, no matter what your partner might have done, or no matter the trends of things that might have occurred over a period of time.
How would your partner interpret it? Well, sometimes we're just saying it just to say it, but how would the person receive it?
Dziffa, think of it like this. I found you on the set today, and I tell you, I don't even know how you ended up here. It's a derogatory statement. It says everything about the fact that you don't qualify to be here. You're not worth being here. And when you say that to your partner, that's exactly what you are doing to them.
So is there a way to reword it without saying it this way? What if you genuinely feel that way?
There are no substitutes for first impressions, and you can never have second impressions for first impressions. It never should happen. And no matter who and what a person is in your life, if you don't want them there, let them know. And it's better than telling them that you don't know how you ended up there with them.
What's the next one?
All right, the second one says that if I have the chance to make another choice, I will make a very careful one. Wow. Indirectly, you're telling them, I've made a wrong choice. And definitely if I have to choose again, that wouldn't be you. In as much as that might be how you genuinely feel, it's not a way to really come across to a partner. Because you're still there with them, obviously, and you can't change it, especially when you're married. And let me put that into that context. When you are married, for me, a Christian and someone who would want to uphold the word of God, I wouldn't encourage divorce. And when you make the choice, I would always say that if you lay your bed, you lay in it. If you pack your bags, you carry it. There are choices you make, and some choices, are inevitably what you've made, and you have to live with the consequence, unfortunately. Wow. So it's not a good statement to really make to a partner that you're spending, your life with.
How would that make your partner feel? Like perhaps if you had a different option, you wouldn't?
May I, if you don't mind, ask, how would you feel if your partner tell you that? And that's exactly where it puts you. I think as an individual, when someone says that I have made a wrong choice, and that wrong choice is you, personally, I wouldn't take that lightly. And anyone who that is said to, it will be a very challenging thing, to, really imbibe as a human being.
Okay. What's the next one?
All right. The third one says that I miss my ex. Why?
That's weird. But people say that all the time.
They do. And especially, it shouldn't come out of you when your partner is there, when your partner is present. You should never say that. Why would you? I mean, what are you trying to achieve by telling your partner, I miss my ex? And once again, that is a very disrespectful statement to tell a partner or someone that you're spending your time with. Even if you do, it shouldn't come out of your mouth. So saying this doesn't mean that you don't. I mean, definitely you might miss some, elements of the time and the memories you share. However, these are statements that you should never make, especially when you are with your partner. Yeah.
But how should, especially if you are still friends with your ex, would that make your partner feel insecure in a way?
A lot of people don't take it lightly. And the truth about it is that unless it's a baby mama or baby daddy, I mean, when the relationship would need to linger on by virtue of the parties that are involved or the kids that are in that relationships, when it comes to that point, many times it's difficult, but you really should do your best to keep it at the interest of the children and nothing more. Because then when your current partner begin to have the feel that, you don't want to be with them and you miss what you had, it becomes a very hard thing for the relationship to gel, if you like.
Okay.
All right, number 4, I can't live without you.
Right, that sounds like a romantic thing that people say all the time. You think it's fraud?
It's fraud.
Why?
What, you don't think so?
Yeah, if someone says they can't live without you, maybe there's some truth. We watch all these romance movies where someone is outside,
that's the
crying, saying, I can't live without you.
That's
so many
the
songs.
That's the thing. I've watched, people at funeral or burial sites who would say, I can't live without it. And there's this famous, story we used to be told when we were young of this, woman that, the husband passed. And I mean, that was her morning cry. I can't live without you. I can't see another day without you. No, I would die, and I don't know what happened, but somewhere along that she slipped and went into, the
casket,
the grave, and fell on the casket.
Oh my God.
Then she started screaming, get me out, take me out. And
but a minute ago you were saying
a few seconds ago you want to die with him. So yeah, I think those statements are very ridiculous. It's something that people just say. It's not really meant for anything. And I think that on a more serious note, it should never be a statement you make. You need to live your life, and people make statements like, you complete me, and some of those things are not really psychologically. You're saying that you're not, full enough. He or she completes you. You must be a complete person in order for you to be with someone. If your life is lacking certain aspects of you, you shouldn't even be in the relationship at all. All right, and these are elements of some of the errors or mistakes we make, and we think it's romantic actually, but I see it as fraud.
Okay, so don't say I can't live without you.
No, you
what
can't
should you
live.
say instead? Like, maybe you've made life better for me.
I mean, having you in my life really adds some spice and beauty and color, and I'm enjoying every moment with you. But trust me, if your partner dies, give it a year.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be attracting someone else down the line. In fact, maybe even at the funeral, someone checks you out.
That's too early.
What's too early? I mean, seriously. Even at the funeral, someone is already checking you out. Yeah. And they might slip a number to you.
No, but like the memories you've created with the person, the experiences you've had, you may not be able to have that same thing with anybody else.
Yes, you're not supposed to have the same with anyone else. And no one should ever want to have the same with another person else, because every individual are different. Every individual is different.
Yeah.
Everyone comes with their own uniqueness. Sure. How I may, approach you affectionately might be different from how your ex or your next will do, and my style, my dynamics with you will be different. That's and true. That is where it's a fact. You can never have anyone like. So where you are, create the memories that you can also cherish on your journey.
That's nice.
All right, the next one. You are my everything.
Your partner shouldn't be your everything?
How is that even possible?
But there are people who their lives literally stop the minute they are in a relationship. They don't have friends, they don't hang out, everything is their partner.
How good is that?
It's toxic.
Yes.
It's exhausting, actually.
It should never be. You should never come to the point where one person is your everything. I always say that the happenings in your life creates your happiness.
Yeah.
No human being can give you joy, not a single person. So it's the things that are happening in your life that will contribute to your happiness in life. And as an individual, there is not a single one on earth who can ever be your everything. Never. All right? And never even paint that picture to anyone that you are my everything. I mean, yes, you add something to me and I cherish the moments we spend together. But being everything, then you are nothing actually.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so no more of that. Next one.
All right. The next one I quickly want to add says that, sorry, my...
Go
okay.
for it, no worries. And if you guys are watching...
Okay. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go for it,
Okay.
You found it.
I want to spend every minute of every day with you. Mm-hmm. I want to spend every minute of every day with you. Why would you want to do that? For what apparent reason?
Yeah.
And these are the people who the girls will say, we're boyfriend, you know, like we are on the so.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a life, basically.
And they're too needy.
Exactly. And when suddenly, I mean, someone who likes to have fun, you know, go out with friends, watch soccer, you know, go places, and then suddenly they get married and they can't have anything else. You are my everything.
They'll feel imprisoned.
Exactly. And people suffocate in relationships like that. I think that people should be allowed to still maintain some level of friendships.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some third parties that are very toxic.
Yeah.
Those you should avoid. But definitely, healthy relationships, healthy friendships out there must be kept. Sometimes you even need a breather. That's the honest truth.
Get away.
You know, there are people who say that my kids are my everything until one day you just get fed up. You feel like even putting, you know, an auction tag on them and sell some of them off, or go and dump them with their grandma, so that you can also have your me time, that quality time you need. And I think that is one of the aspects that, you know, we must be able to, you know, have a look at. Okay. No one can ever, you know, want to spend every moment of their time, you know, with you. Next one quickly will be without
Where
you.
are we down the line now?
Number 7.
Yay.
Without you, my life has no meaning. Without you. And when someone says that to you, makes you go like, oh, yeah, right. Without you, my life has no meaning. Then you actually are not living, because life is about purpose. And for me, I want your life that is filled with purpose to complement what I have. You know, so it's the complement, we complement each other, that makes what we carry become beautiful. But if your life has nothing and it needs to be what I bring or what you alone bring, then that becomes a very challenging element of that journey, you know, within that relationship. And it becomes ideal that as partners, we understand that let your life create a meaning. There are people in relationships today who immediately they get married, everything else ceases. It's as if their vision in life is just to get married. And the day they walk the aisle, and they are presented as husband and wife, they've achieved their life purpose. And that's it. And it never should be. All right? Go after your dreams. Go after the things that you desire to have in life. And I think that when you actually live life like that, it has more meaning and it brings more beauty to it. You know, and that's for me one of the things that you should never, you know. Next one is, if you leave me, I'll die.
Yeah, that's just, yeah.
I'll die. And that for me is another fraudulent statement we hear some of the time.
Or even dangerous if someone really wants to.
Yes, and it's very manipulative.
Yeah.
Very, very manipulative. I always tell young guys or young ladies that when someone start making that statement, run for your life.
It's like an emotional blackmail.
Exactly, it's an emotional blackmail. All right. When something is not working, it's not working. There's nothing you can do to make it work. I mean, because of time, I wouldn't want to throw in a couple, but I would have loved to share.
We'll come back next week and we'll go,
you know,
in depth on some of these signs that we should run away from.
Exactly.
What's the last one?
All right. So I think I mentioned earlier on, you complete me.
Yes.
You complete me. And that is one of the statements I mentioned that you should never say, because you should be completing yourself, and you should be someone who is really, who you are, and bring that to the table. Sometimes a partner will ask, and that's my 10th one, what do you bring to the table?
Yeah.
This, I think, is something that must be asked personally.
But you should ask it a different way?
Maybe, might be tilted a bit, but it's something that is very ideal, even before you get into the relationship. You should never walk into any relationship, and saying that just being with you is all I need. Never. Relationships are work. It takes a lot to make it work. And the emotions are one bit of it. But, beyond that, there are many things that makes relationship work. And as an individual, you must be able to bring something to the table. There are people today who feel trapped because they are in relationships with people who are bringing nothing to the table. They are in relationships with people who are contributing nothing. And at that point, it makes it really like you're always getting a withdrawal out, but you never get any deposits in.
Thank you so much, Reverend Bernie Osei-Duah, for being with us and helping us understand things we should never, ever, ever say in a relationship. And I'm sure next week we'll talk more about toxic behaviors we should look out for so that we don't end up in some of these
I look forward
situations.
to it.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.